Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today's class was more of a personal lesson. As you will see, as we go through this bhajan, it is all about a talk with oneself. Something that we do a lot, especially as women. I think we do a lot of introspective talks, self-talking. I don't know. I do it. I don't know about everyone, but it's a very effective form of reflection also. Today's bhajan is by a wonderful poet named Govindadas Kaviraj, to invoke his blessings and the blessings of the previous acharyas. We shall recite the pranama prayers, the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. Shri Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Please let me know if there's any issue with audio. Hare Krishna Krishna.
Audio is fine. Audio is fine, Ratikeli.
Okay. So if there's any issue, please let me know. I will turn off the mic. Sorry, I'll turn off the video, not the mic. Hare Krishna. I think that's Krishna Priya. Thank you, Krishna, for the report. Okay. Let's start then. First, I'll sing the bhajan once, and all of you, I'm sure everyone knows this song, so it is not something new that we are going to learn. What we are going to do today is try and memorize this bhajan, very simple tune, so that everyone can quickly fall upon this bhajan at times of need. So that is the goal of today's session. I'll sing it once and then we will begin our discussion. Everyone can please keep their mics on mute and sing along. Leelapriya Mataji has displayed the lyrics on the screen, so please follow along. Thank you. If there are any Matajis in Kannada, I think the Kannada songbook also will have the lyrics. So it's a very simple bhajan, Matajis. Easy agi jotege haadona. Okay. Gopika will be accompanying me on Kartals. She's 2 meters away from me because I'm in quarantine. We just reached Kerala from Chennai yesterday. So we are in 15 days mandatory quarantine. We have to stay 2 meters away from everyone. Okay. We'll start now. Bhajahu re mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charana Ravindre. Bhajahu re mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charana Ravindre. Durlabha manava राम सत्संगे तरो होए भव सिंधु रे, तारो होए भव सिंधु रे। शीतातप वातवरीषण ए दिन जामिनी जागिरे। शीतातप वातवरीषण ए दिन जामिनी जागिरे। विफले से विनो कृपण दुर्जन, विफले से विनो कृपण दुर्जन, चपल सुख लभ लागिरे, चपल सुख लभ लागिरे। भजहु रे मन श्री नंद नंदना, भय चरण रविंद रे। ए धन यौवन पुत्र परिजना, पीठे किया छे परतीति रे। ए धन यौवन पुत्र परिजना, थे किया छे परतीति रे। कमल दल जल जीवन टलमल, कमल दल जल जीवन टलमल, भजहु हरिपद नीति रे, भजहु हरिपद नीति रे। भजहु रे मन श्री नंद नंदना, भय चरण रविंद रे। श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदना, पाद सेवन दास्य रे। श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदना, पाद सेवन दास्य रे। पूजन सखी जनात्मनिवेदन, पूजन सखी जनात्मनिवेदन, गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे, गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे। भजहु रे मन श्री नंद नंदना, अभय चरण रविंद रे। भजहु रे मन श्री नंद नंदना, अभय चरण रविंद रे, अभय चरण रविंद रे, अभय चरण रविंद रे। Hare Krishna. So that was the bhajan. I hope everyone could sing along. We'll do a para-wise study in time. But this is a very beautiful bhajan composed by Srila Govindadas Kaviraj. Govindadas Kaviraj was given that title by none other than Jiva Goswami. Now, Govindadas himself was a very exemplary Vaishnava. He was the brother of Ramachandra Kaviraj, a very Narottam Das Thakur. You must have heard his name in Jayanilo Premadhana. It says, Ramachandra Sangha Mage Narottama Das, So that Ramachandra is Ramachandra Kaviraj, and he was a disciple of Srinivas Acharya as well as a very close friend of Narottam Das Thakur. Now, Srila Govinda Das Thakur was also a disciple of, sorry, I'm blank, Srinivas Acharya. Sorry, of Srinivas Acharya, yes. And he belonged also to the village of Srikhand, which is where Narahari Sarkar, Narahari Das Thakur lived. So he's part of the Srikhandis, or rather descendant of a Srikhandi Vaishnava. That is all some extra information. His father's name is Chiranjeeva, who was a gopi in Vrindavan. You can imagine what must have been his level of, he has a rich legacy behind him. Now, how he received this title of Kaviraj. Govindadas used to write prolific, like he was a very prolific writer. He used to write very beautiful bhajans, several poems. Hence, he was a kavi, and he would send these poems to Jiva Goswami. So one time when he sent it to Jiva Goswami, Jiva Goswami responded by saying, "Continue to compose kirtans like this. You are very qualified, so you should compose more and send them to me in Vrindavan." And he gave him the title Kaviraj. So can you guess which song Govinda Das Thakur sent, for which Jiva Goswami gave this comment? Does anyone want to guess? You can write in the chat maybe, if that will create.
Rajahure.
That's right. Thank you, Mataji. Not sure who said that, but that's the right answer. Bhajahure Mana was the song which received this comment, and this is the song we are going to learn today. Govinda Das Kaviraj has written several songs, many of which I have never even heard before, to be honest. They're very deep, esoteric songs with very beautiful meanings. Some of them are short, very sweet to hear and sing, very intense. So we will seek Govinda Das Thakur's blessings to be able to understand and imbibe this bhajan as we learn to sing it today. Now the song itself is in Bengali. It is a pad, one kind of literary composition. And this bhajan, as we know, is written by Srila Govinda Das Kaviraj. The bhajan itself is a supplication to the mind. By a supplication, we mean a request, a humble prayer to the mind. And this, Prabhupada explains in his purport, is the way to, deal with our mind. The mind is simultaneously a potential enemy. If it is our enemy, it can be the worst of our enemies. It can also be the best of our friends. So we have the potential for both these very strong relationships within ourselves in the form of the mind. So we must request the mind because we need its cooperation. We need its cooperation to go smoothly forward. Another very beautiful analogy which I find fitting to this case that Prabhupada gives is that the mind is the driver. We know this example, right? The body is the car, the soul is the passenger, and the mind is the driver. So imagine having a driver who is absolutely crazy and has no control over the wheel. Right? Is just going wherever he wants. Going left, right, he may drive straight into the ocean. What will be your approach in dealing with that driver? You're not going to threaten him or scold him. You're going to calmly settle down. You'll listen, my dear driver. What you're doing now is not good for both of us. You have to be very tactful in dealing with him. That's exactly what Govinda Das Kaviraj is doing in this bhajan. So first he explains to the mind in a very, very nice way to do something. Then he tells the mind what are all the negative things that he's doing already. Then finally he gives him a positive alternative. So with this brief description, we'll now begin studying this song. The lyrics Mataji has shared. We'll go through each word. You can be on mute and repeat after me just so we get the pronunciation right for each word. The first paragraph. Bhajahu re mana Sri Nanda Nandana. In this line, bhaja means, of course, to worship or to chant the names of. Hu re is like it's an address, like we say O re or bhai re. It's very common in Bengali to address with the re, and you'll see that re appears in every alternate line in this song. Every second line there is a re. In this first line, Govindadas Thakur is addressing his mind. Hey mind, hu re mana. Mana is the mind. Whom should he worship? So not just any person, not just any random person. If Govindadas Kaviraj says Govinda or Krishna or Vishnu, then there are so many people with that name. So he's clearly telling, this is Nanda Nandana, the son of Sri Nanda. Not only does this verify the identity of the person without any doubt, but it is also very pleasing for Krishna when we address him as the son of Nanda in association with his dearest devotees. So why should the mind worship? Why bhaja hure mana Sri Nanda Nandana? Because the next line, please repeat. Abhaya Charanara Vinda Re. Abhaya Charanara Vinda Re. Because the two lotus feet of this personality will grant one all fearlessness. So this is the reason why Govindadas Kaviraj and each of us are requesting our mind to take shelter of Sri Nanda Nandana. So then the mind will tell, you are telling me to take shelter of his lotus feet, but I have so many things to do, so many wonderful experiences to go through. Then Govindadas Kaviraj tells the mind, what does he say? That's the third line. Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange. Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange. Durlabha Manava Janama, this human life is very, very difficult to obtain. Durlabha Manava Janama. So take satsanga, take the association of devotees. And what happens when we do that is the fourth line. Taroho e bhava sindhu re. Taroho e bhava sindhu re. What is going to happen is we are going to cross over this very deep, dark material ocean very easily. So the analogy we get in Bhagavatam is like the hoof print of a calf. The ocean, the depth, the breadth of the ocean becomes reduced to the hoof print of a calf for one who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So now we'll sing the first paragraph together. Please repeat after me in mute. Before that, can anyone volunteer to read the translation? Harismita, can you read the translation of para 1?
Yes, Mataji. O mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda, which make one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worldly existence through the association of saintly persons.
Yes, thank you, Harismita. So this paragraph, this verse, at least how I remember it, this is the MCF, the mind control formula / the mind cooperation formula. We need the mind's cooperation to move on in life, to get things done, and to be able to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this mind control formula, mind control is so difficult. Everyone is asking how to control the mind. People are doing absolutely crazy things because they do not have a control, a reign over their mind. And even recently, we have seen all kinds of things coming up in the news. Now I see every news article has a paragraph at the bottom. If you're going through any difficulty after reading this news, please contact us. They are psychological assistant support staff. If you have any feelings of depression, you can call and speak to them. They give you the tragic news and then they tell you can do this if you're feeling bad. That's the situation. But we know that none of that is going to help. The only way to actually become fearless, and we are always in fear. Either we are in fear over something we did in the past, either we are in fear over whether we will be able to maintain what we have right now, or we are in fear over what will be our situation in the future. Can I get this? Can I get that? Will I be in? So we are always, working, trying to secure our position. Also, the defense ministry is the most money guzzling department of any country. Simply because we are in fear, it is a very, very natural state of mind now for every living entity. But then you can become fearless. How? By taking shelter of the very secure lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why are the Lord's feet called secure? Because not only tiny souls like us, several universes are resting on those two lotus feet. So one little soul like us going and taking shelter is not going to take the Lord, yes, the Lord can take us. So we can fearlessly rest on His feet. There are so many shlokas in the Bhagavatam which describe the lotus feet. In fact, I was looking at how often it comes, and I'm picking out verses which refer to the lotus feet, and there are so many. Rarely will you find one chapter where it is the lotus feet. So it's that common in the Bhagavatam. So this another important point in this verse is that we cannot do all this on our own. So this rare human life must not be wasted, and we must take shelter of the Supreme Personality of God. But you cannot do that by yourself. We need the association of. So Prabhupada refers to the association of devotees as society. Just like we have associations of, all kinds of associations. We have association connected to our state, to our language, our caste, what we are born in. Students based on our profession. Someone's mic is on. Hare Krishna, I think somebody's mic is on. Please check. So Prabhupada calls ISKCON the devotee as the Paramahamsa Society. So we must stay in Paramahamsa society. We cannot manage on our own. We need the association of devotees. And the association of devotees makes it very easy to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is what we learn in the first paragraph. Now we learn to sing it line by line. Please be on mute and sing along. I'll sing one line and then I'll leave time for you to sing after. Bhajahure mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charana Ravindare Durlabhamanava Janama Satsange Tarahoe Bhava Sindhure. That is the first verse. If you have any questions, please note them down. We'll cover them all together at the end. Now we'll move on to the next paragraph. In this next verse, Govindadas Kaviraj is telling the mind the reality of our situation. So now the mind is saying, it's making all sorts of arguments, and then it's trying to defend its position of engaging always in all kinds of service, community service, service to the family, service to the mind, to itself and to the senses. So Govindadas Kaviraj tells it, Shita Atapa. Please repeat word by word. Shita. This is Shita. This is not Sita. For the longest time, I kept singing Sita, but it's actually Shita, which means the cold. Shita Atapa Bata Barishana. So what is this? It is in the cold and in the heat, in the rain and in the shine. So through all conditions of material environment, E Dina Jamini Jagire. This is especially relevant to those of us who do night duty. Those of us who have night shift. So staying awake day and night. Who is doing this? We are doing it. E Dina Jamini Jagi Re. Sita Atapa Bata Barishana Edina Jamini Jagire. But why are we doing it? What is the benefit of doing it? Bifale Sevinu Kripana Durajana. And from doing it, what are we doing? We are basically serving, vainly serving Kripanas and Durajanas. Kripanas are misers, Durajana are the evil, worldly minded men. And what do we get from all of that? Chapala Sukha Laba Lagire. Only a moment of flickering happiness. Not only is the happiness flickering, it comes and goes, but it's also lasting only for a fraction of a moment. So for this kind of happiness, what are we sacrificing? We are staying up day and night, we are working through the rain and shine, and basically we are, giving ourselves to the Kripanas and the Durajanas. So one very beautiful quote I read the other day, I think by His Grace Sankarshanadhikari Prabhu, was that, okay, I'll give this analogy. So suppose you get all the happiness in the world, where genie comes and tells you, here you can have all the happiness in the world, I can give you everything you want, but I won't tell you when it's going to end. Any moment it may be taken away from you. Imagine what will be your mindset as you accept that happiness. At every second you'll be worried, oh my God, this is going to end now. Any second this will end. This will not be with me the next moment. When will this stop being mine? That tension is going to eat your head so much that you won't really enjoy anything. So material happiness is actually like that. You don't know how long it's going to stay with you. And this is what Sankarshanadhikari Prabhu is saying. So material happiness is actually the worst kind of feeling, because any second it can leave you. What kind of happiness is that? Happiness which will leave you is not happiness at all. If it should be happiness, it should be something that stays with you. But the speciality of the happiness of this material world is that it is temporary. It leaves behind more misery in its wake. You'll feel more painful at the end. And it requires so much of investment. So much investment of time, energy, mental resources. That's what Govindadas Kaviraj is telling us here, about how much we are struggling just for a moment of flickering happiness. Honestly, if we think about it, the happiness we experience is very, very short-lived. Even the ultimate happiness that you may think, oh, this is the happiness, oh my God, I wish this would never end, but it's going to end. It's spiritual happiness. Spiritual happiness has a very different feeling. It is not the happiness that may, at least in the beginning stages, It's not the happiness that may have you hopping or skipping or screaming on the road and all that, but it leaves you with so much peace and contentment because it leaves you fearless, like we read in the earlier paragraph. So I want a volunteer to read the translation for verse 2.
Mataji, I will read.
Yes, Akshara, please read.
Both in the day and at the night, I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of the heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men.
Thank you, Akshara. Yes. So these people that we are serving also are not people who can reciprocate our happiness. They are people who, anyone who is living in the material world can testify to this. And since all of us are, whether it's in the corporate world or if you're around materialistic family members, the whole focus is on somehow, getting the maximum out of you, not on how much you are enjoying the experience. So for these kinds of people, we are spending so much of our time, our energy, and our emotions, investing our emotions. That is a very, very bad bargain. So with this, we'll try and practice this verse. We'll repeat line by line. Please repeat. Sita tapa bata barishana e dina jamini jagire Bifale se vinu kripana durajana Chapala sukhala balagire That's verse 2. And verse 2 tells us about the flickering happiness that we are actually working for. It's like a reality check. Now next the mind will tell, I'm still young. No matter how old we may be or how young we may be, the fact is that life can end at any moment, but still the mind may give such arguments. I'm still young, you're still young. Why should you have to do all this now? We should enjoy at this time. And then Govindadas Kaviraj tells the mind, please repeat, E dhana, yaubana, putra, parijana. E dhana, yaubana, putra, parijana. Who are all these? All this wealth, this youth, your children, your family members. What are they? Ithe ki ache. Ithe ki ache paratiti re. Just a second. Yeah. Ithe ki ache paratiti re means in these, what is there? What is there in these? So next line. Kamala dala jala jivana talamala. That means just like the drop of water on a lotus leaf, our life is tottering. We are all in LLB state. Lotus leaf balancing is going on. So we are in a very, very unstable position. The lotus leaf is not going to sit in a particular way to hold the drop. Just like that, our life is in a very, very unstable position where we are not able to adhere ourselves because we don't belong here. We simply don't belong here. There is nothing that will actually give us true happiness. Itheki ache paratitire kamala dalajala jivana talamala. So what should we do? What should we actually be doing? Bhaja hu haripada niti re. Bhajahu haripada niti re. That means always worship the lotus feet of Lord Hari. So niti means practice or regularly or always. You should make it your practice to worship the lotus feet of Lord Hari. So repeatedly we see this reference coming where Govindadas Kaviraj Thakur is trying to convince us that we need to urgently, without delay, take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by clinging on to his lotus feet, worshipping his lotus feet. And now this is not even an option. I mean, it was never an option. But now we can really see that we have to do it in these very uncertain times. So yesterday, after many months, I stepped out of the house because we had to fly to Kerala from Chennai. And in the airport, every step there's a cautionary notice, there's a message that you should maintain so much distance, you should not touch any surface. So many signs and signals and symbols. You're constantly reminded that you're in a situation where anything could happen at any moment. Everyone is in risk of losing their life right now. That is the everyone always was, but now even the materialists have accepted and acknowledged that, and it is glaring you in the face. So now it's not an option anymore to wash your hands properly, to use sanitizer, or to maintain social distancing. It is just the norm. It has to be done. So taking shelter of the Supreme Lord is the it is the standard. There's no option. There's no going around it. That is the situation at this present moment. Mercifully, the Lord has put us in this situation where we have no option but to take shelter of Him. So we must take this opportunity to do that. So, one second. Can end. Yeah. So then Prabhupada also explains in the purport. Now we may ask, okay, but we need to maintain our friends and family, and that's our duty, right? We cannot just run away from that fact of life. Prabhupada says, yes, but you shouldn't do it more than required. Only enough to maintain yourself and to maintain them. Not beyond the point. The goal of life and the goal of our activities must be to remember and serve the lotus feet of Lord Hari. And around that, everything else should revolve. So that is the third paragraph. We learn to sing it line by line. Before that, if Krisha is on the line, can she do it?
Yes, Mataji.
Krisha, can you read the translation for verse 3?
Yes, Mataji.
It's on the screen.
What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one wealth, youthfulness, sons and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari.
Thank you, Krisha. Okay, now we'll sing that line.
Welcome, Mataji.
We'll sing that verse line by line.
What
Sorry? Okay. Edhana yaubana putra parijana इथे किया छे परती तीरे कमल दल जला जीवन टलमला भजहु हरि पदानी तीरे. That was the third verse. So any happiness that we are enjoying right now, or any duty that we are trying to fulfill, or whatever we think is our position, everything is in a very, very unstable position. So the only stable position we can attain is to be situated at the stable shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. Otherwise, we are all floating on different islands in very, very like lost spaceships, lost satellites. Okay, so now we'll do verse 4. Verse 4 is where Sri Govinda Das Thakur gives a positive alternative to the mind on what it can do. It tells the mind, this is what I want to do. Govinda Das Thakur is telling the mind, this is what I want to do. What does he want to do? He wants to do Shravanam, he wants to do Kirtanam. So we'll recite those words one by one. Please repeat. Shravana Kirtana, Smarana Vandana, Pada Sevana, Dasyare, Pujana, Sakhijana, Atma Nivedana, Govinda Dasa, Abhilashare. So Govinda Dasa is telling the mind, and all of us should tell our mind, this is what I want to do. So here's the positive alternative. I'm telling you so many things, not to do this, not to do that. Don't do this, don't do that. This is bad, this is bad. So then the mind asks, okay, so what do you want me to do? This is what I want you to do. The 9 processes of devotional service. Now, before I learned the verse that Prahlad Maharaj gave us in the Bhagavatam, I learned this para. So the 9 processes of devotional service, if anyone asks me at one shot, I just sing this verse out. It's a very easy way to remember. Bhajans are so special because the acharyas, they have actually made all the philosophy very, very easy to understand. In a very rhythmic manner, they have, basically drilled the philosophy into our head. Even if you don't know what we are singing, we keep singing it, and at one point we understand, oh, this is what we are singing. Oh, okay, yeah, this is what it means. so many things, so much of philosophy we can learn just if we learn the bhajans. Another thing I learned from bhajans was the names of the 6 Goswamis. I learned that from Hariharaya Nama. So we can learn so many things from the bhajans. And this bhajan particularly now speaks about the 9 processes of devotional service. Now, right now, our mind is covered by several layers of experiences and all kinds of thoughts and desires and feelings from many, many lifetimes. Now, sometimes we may think, oh, I never thought that such things could come to my mind. So it may not be something we have in our recent memory, but if something comes to our mind, definitely there is some background to that. The role of the mind is to think, feel, and will. And over many lifetimes, it has been doing that. So if you find yourself thinking about something you had you are absolutely not expecting, or suddenly some random thought comes. You're trying to control your mind, but the mind just, everything we can control. We can control our hand movement, our leg and eyes and everything. But the mind, we cannot even think of controlling. That is the biggest challenge. So this mind is having so many impressions from so many lifetimes, and somewhere it comes out. So the other day I was thinking how, especially in young youth, We are very curious. So what does this feel like? What does this look like? What is that song? What is that person's name, or what is that movie story? We are always curious. We want to find out more and more when we are young. But it's very risky. There's this analogy in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna tells Arjuna that the devotee is like a tortoise. Whenever he sees an opportunity for the mind to, frolic in sense enjoyment, immediately it withdraws its limbs. We must be like the tortoise and withdraw our limbs whenever there is a possibility of the mind getting diverted. It's easier said than done, but again, we are getting the positive alternative here. When we engage in the 9 processes, it becomes very easy to do that. But even otherwise, it is important to have some control over what we do, what we see, what we hear. Because once we see something, or once we do something, or once we hear something, it's so difficult to get it out of our mind. What we have seen cannot be unseen. We are so curious to see, but then once we see it, it's seen. That's it. We are so curious, and then we end up seeing it, and then it's already seen. Then throwing it out of your mind is going to be the biggest challenge ever. And now when we think of thoughts that are coming out of the blue, that's something you saw or heard or experienced in some lifetime, mostly because of our uncontrolled desires. Even the circumstances we are put into are because of some desire we had in a past lifetime. So no one is to blame except ourselves for the experiences we go through. But what we do when we engage in the 9 processes of devotional service, if not all 9, at least 8, if not 8, if at least 7. If not 7, okay, fine. Even one, if we engage in with full heart, all these coverings that are on our mind will get burnt. All of them will get burnt away, and the mind will be left in its pure, unadulterated state as a spiritual sense. And having shed that very cumbersome burden or that layer over ourselves, the soul can actually engage in what it's really supposed to be doing, what will give it real happiness. That is what we are doing when we engage in the 9 processes of devotional service. So I need someone to read the translation.
Shall I read, Mataji?
Mataji, I wanted some child to read. They must be sitting bored through the session.
Okay, Mataji.
Dhruva is online?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Dhruva, can you read the translation?
Okay, Mataji, but just a second. Just worship the lotus feet of the sun longer from on Govinda Das to engage himself in the 9 processes of bhakti, hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting those glories, constantly remembering him and offering prayers to him, serving the lotus feet, serving the lotus feet, Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping him with flowers and
Incense.
And so forth. Serve him as a friend and completely offering the Lord one's very self.
Thank you, Dhruva. That was great.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay. So now shall we try and sing that song, that last verse? Everyone please be on mute and sing along. Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasya Re Pujana Sakhi Janatma Nivedana Govinda Dasa Abhilash Re Bhajahu Re Mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Abhaya Charanara Vindare. So to quickly revise, Bhajahure Mana was written by Govindadas Kaviraj. This particular bhajan is a supplication or a request to the mind. It's a humble request to the mind to cooperate in trying to remember the lotus feet, in taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. In the first verse, Govindadas Kaviraj gives us the mind control formula. He gives his mind the right thing to do. So this is our mind control formula or mind cooperation strategy. What is that? To take, Gopi could sing chorus. Yeah, she was singing from far away. This is not audible. So in this first paragraph, we get the importance of association. The great benefit of taking shelter of the Lord's lotus feet is that we are awarded fearlessness, and that we must do it not by ourselves, but in the association of devotees. In verse 2, we see how we get only flickering happiness from the material world. And in verse 3, we see the analogy of the lotus leaf. Our life is just like a drop of water on the lotus leaf, tottering at all times. Finally, after all these restrictions, Govindadas Kaviraj tells the mind what he actually wants to do. That is to engage in the 9 processes of devotional service. And so, this song teaches us how to control our mind, how to give a petition to the mind. And the only way to control our mind, the final conclusion is to engage in the service of the Supreme Personality, not through any artificial process. Only by engaging in positive devotional service can we actually control the mind. So whenever we are at a loss on all the goings on and we are completely bewildered and the mind is going out of our grip, this is a nice song to sing to it. As they say, music tames even the beast. The mind in its beastly state will get tamed as we sing this song to it. So let's try doing that. We'll try. I need to try first. And throughout the session, I was telling my mind also. I was telling my mind mainly what I wanted it to hear through the very beautiful words of Govindadas Thakur. So I hope today's session was useful. All the Matajis who are here know much more than me, and all the children also, they're so kind to be present and patiently listen throughout the whole session. If there are any questions or comments, we can discuss them. It's already 6, so I don't want to stretch for too long. Mataji.